Alright, so welcome back to another episode. I actually wanted to quickly show you that I actually had a really interesting battle. I've been playing in the Synchro festival with our beloved Sacred Beast deck. Yeah, you can't see it in the name, but you can see it in the three cards. The Sacred Beast deck. And honestly, it's doing great as ever because it's just a really good deck that plays without an extra deck, like in the GX format, if you could call it that. And that's basically where this deck shines. Yeah, I just did some rank duels, so I have some of the daily missions completed. This one not yet, because people usually scoop before you can actually do damage and go for the kill, right? A trap card rarely happens, so solo mode rarely happens as well. Like I don't feel the need to play this for only 40 gems. Declare an attack on a monster in ranked duel. That also rarely happens for the same reason that this rarely happens, because people scoop. Or also the addition of, in the modern meta, basically you destroy all the opponent's monsters in main phase 1 before you actually go into your battle phase. That's usually the way you do it. So alright, so wait, it's not here. Can I see my past duel? It is there, I think. Yeah, no, it is here, and then Synchro Festival and match history. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've actually been scooping a little bit as well. Like sometimes it doesn't go too well, but overall I think we're doing pretty good. Replay. Yeah. So we actually matched a very interesting deck, which you can see from the title, which is True Draco / True King, and he actually started with a really good hand. So I wanted to show you this, and he won the coin flip. So he chose to go first. So let's not speed it up. Let's see what he actually does in his first turn. Okay, well that's a great start, right? If you see this was the last of the spell trap cards that he played. So from that we knew it was True Draco, but all the 3 other cards it was already gonna be difficult. So he tribute summons. He even had a monster in the hand. Like that's also usually a problem. If you play True Draco, then you know this. If you don't have a monster in the hand, it's gonna be a battle of your spell and trap cards against your opponent if they can block them enough until you draw a monster or get a monster to the hand, right? But he started with a perfect hand, so he had even a spell trap to tribute basically for his monster and get his monster on the field. So let's see what happens. Yeah, we have a decent hand. We have the 2 combo starters. We even have Fear Rise Map, which is another combo starter basically. We have Skill Drain as well, so he runs it as well, but yeah. So it won't do much here, and unfortunately, but yeah, so be it. Fallen Paradise, we have it. It's not incredibly useful, but it might come in handy, as you'll see in a little bit. Pure Rise Map, we activate it because he changed to it. Yeah, Macrocosmos. So basically every card is banished now instead of sent to the graveyard. So that's a really good luck. Like that's really difficult to play around. All right, I didn't really know what to get to the hand. Like we could have gotten the other level 5 monster to hand, Chaos Reckoning Beast, I think. No, Dark Summoning Beast. We could have gotten that to the hand, but basically the thing is, if you read this card, you have to normal summon it to use its effects, basically. Otherwise, you cannot use its effects anyway. So basically, you have to normal summon it, and we weren't gonna normal summon that. I didn't think we were. So, okay, so normal summon this, and he actually flipped Skill Drain. So, like I said, he actually had a Skill Drain to spare to get his Ignis out. So he had an amazing hand, I think. I haven't played much True Draco myself, but I think this is an amazing hand for True Dracos. And an amazing start as well, like Skill Drain and Microcosmos on the field, together with his Ignis Seed. It also negates his own monster effect, so he cannot chain and get a monster or card, True Draco card, continuous spell from your deck. So he cannot get that, but yeah, that's the offer that he makes. Alright, so we normal summon this, and yeah, that's it. So if it gets negated, then unfortunately with the Sacred Beast deck, that's it. It's a pity that we actually activated Pure Rise Map, because now our life points are actually halved, so we only have 4,000 life points. That's a little bit of a pity, but alright, he drew a card, but he didn't set it yet. He set it in main phase 2, as you should. He's a smart player. He knows the game. Alright, our turn, we have only 1,600 life points left. We draw another Skill Drain, that's so bad. That's actually a good thing, because since we play Skill Drain for a reason as well, because our cards also work decently well with it. Like first of all, the 4,000 big bodies. If they're normal monsters on the field, nobody cares. Like their effects, they have effects, but they're not that difficult, not that important. They have amazing stats as well on the field, so that's important. This is the only monster that actually does get negated, as you just saw. Like if it's negated, then it cannot get its search off, and yeah, that's a little bit of a pity. It also doesn't grant the additional normal summon, which it normally would. So that this monster, the only monster that actually suffers from the skill drain. But this monster, Chaos Summoning Beast and also Dark Summoning Beast, they don't suffer from skill drain. That's why we also play skill drain, because you tribute this card, and normally it goes to the graveyard and it resolves in the graveyard. In this case, it goes to the banished zone instead of the graveyard. But it resolves there where it is at that time. So the effect resolves either in the graveyard or in the banished zone, usually in the graveyard, and that's why it can dodge skill drain, because this actually negates the effects of all face-up monsters on the field while they are face-up on the field. So yeah, that's amazing, and that's how we actually got our Raphael Lord of Phantasm out. We also have our Fallen Paradise, so that's amazing that you actually have this in the hand right now, because then we can activate it to draw 2 more cards. And we draw some cards. We drew Opening of the Spirit Gate, which is pretty decent. We could have gotten the support card for Raphael to the hand and double his attack and yeah, do some interesting plays, but he had Solemn Adjustment. Okay, so he actually spent some life points on that, and he negated our card. That was, I don't know if it was a smart play by him, but sure, it was definitely, we would have liked to have popped that off with that. So okay, he's in a good position right now. I just put these 2 skill drains down to scare him, I guess, because it's not gonna make any thing. To make matters worse, we can't even activate 2 because you have to pay 1,000 life points, and we don't have 2,000 life points. But yeah, regardless, I just put it down to scare him a little. He actually drew Pot of Duality, which is an amazing card for him to draw right now. He can choose out of the 3 top cards of his deck. Okay, he has a True Draco card, he has another True Draco card, and Mirror Force. Okay, let's see what he chooses. He chooses Mirror Force. He did not read cards. Kids, always read the cards, because this beautiful Fallen Paradise says that also, so your opponent cannot target Yuria, Hamon, or Raphael, or Armatile even, in your monster zone with card effects. That's the first. But secondly, like in addition to that, also those monsters cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So since Mirror Force destroys the attack position monsters, that's not gonna do a single thing. That's when I knew, like, he added that to his hand and actually put it face down in hopes that it would do something. But yeah, that's when I knew, like, okay, we're gonna win this, because he has only 1900 left. We can even draw 2 more cards. We can activate Lure of Darkness. We banish that card. We could have made even more plays, like here. We have the DDR, which can special summon our Chaos Summoning Beast. We have Opening of Spirit Gate, which we're activating right now. We can actually get a, let's say, another Sacred Beast to the hand. Then we would have Chaos Summoning Beast on the field. We would tribute it, because its effect can still resolve through skill drain. And then we can get Hamon on the field. But more importantly, we tributed a monster, so we can actually get Darkest Diablos on the field as well. So we could have had an amazing plays. And in addition to that, we had Hamon on the field, then we had Cerulean Skyfire as well, so we could negate his whatever. Even if it was an amazing card, then we would just negate it. So yeah, it's we would have had a lot of plays here. We would be in a perfect position. But what I chose to do is actually get Raphael out to do more damage, because it's actually a challenge. Yeah, here he activated it. It doesn't do anything. So we activated our card, making it 8000 attack, and yeah, just doing more damage, because that's a challenge or a mission, I guess. Exhibition mission. Alright, so that's actually what I wanted to show you. And there's someone on Steam. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. Peace out. Before I leave, sorry, I have learned, I'm trying to remember, or trying not to forget, to always show the deck, edit deck. I want to always stress a lot that we are pure Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists. Please read the description if you want to know more, but we don't include any standard staples. They're incredibly boring cards to me, so we don't include like Ash Blossom and Maxx C. If you want to win, include those, yes. Include all the staples, like the cards that everyone plays, Raigeki, even Imperial, Infinite Impermanence. Oh man, how many are there? We even actually have a list of cards, which is like all the standard staple cards, which go in every deck, which don't really synergize with your own deck, but just only with your opponents, to block your opponent. Like all those cards, they're not for me. They're really boring to me, and that's because everyone plays them. Regardless, this is our deck. We have 3 of the starter cards, like the starter monsters. Yeah. We have 1 Darkest Diablos. You only need him once. Like, he's a combo extender. He's not really a starter at all. We have 3 Hamon, because Hamon is, in my opinion, the best of them all, because he works great with Cerulean Skyfire and actually gets a spell trap negate of an effect, which is like it can even negate super polymerization. So it's like an amazing effect. We have 1 Raphael just in case, and 1 of his support cards. because then we can attack over high level monsters, or yeah, do some interesting plays, make some interesting plays. We have one Foolish Burial. We can use this on either Dark Summoning Beast or Chaos Summoning Beast to get their effects off in the graveyard, or we can even use it on Darkest Diablos to special summon him from the graveyard. We have Allure of Darkness twice. I felt like putting it in 3 times. We have it only twice actually, but if we even putting it in 3 times can get a little bricky, because only the 10 monsters at the top here are dark, including these 2. So you only have 12. Sounds, yeah. So it's not even 50%. Like if you have 50%, nearing 20 out of 40 cards dark monsters, then you will always want to put in 3 Allure of Darkness. But right now it can get a little bricky, so that's why I opted for 2. 2 Foolish Burial, because they are amazing with our Opening of the Spirit Gates. We can send it to the graveyard. We can send a spell trap to the graveyard and immediately add it to the hand if we control a level 10 monster. I'm not gonna go through every card in detail, but just to show you what the deck is like. Pure Rise Map, also a starter card. It basically searches any of these small monsters, so that's amazing. DDR, to special summon from your banish zone, because these monsters banish themselves anyway, so they're usually in the banish zone. Next turn you can use it. Either the next turn or even the same turn. You can imagine you can send it to the graveyard with Foolish Burial, banish it, and then immediately special summon it and use its on-field effect as well. So yeah, that's great. The field spell, it's an amazing field spell, but it's searchable, never included 3 times. It's searchable incredibly easy through, say, Chaos Summoning Beast graveyard effect. Dimensional Fissure, generally we don't really mind about our monsters getting banished, so we just this usually annoys our opponent more than it does to us, basically. So that's why I included it. It's an option because you can just search it with Foolish Burial Goods. Deck Lockdown, definitely the best card of the random non-archetype related continuous spells. Yeah. Because it's just so powerful, and the main benefit is just that it destroys it during your standby phase. Like, it doesn't matter which, it's apparently your second, but it destroys it during your standby phase. So you can destroy it during your standby phase basically, and then make your plays, and then during the end phase of that same turn you can just add it to the hand with Opening of Spirit Gates, likely, if you have it, like if everything is set in place. Then you can just activate it again during the end phase, and it will bother your opponent again. So it's an amazing card. Legacy of the Duelist, we just drew a second from the Legacy packs, so I just opted for putting in another, because the card that we had earlier was Summoning Curse. Yeah, we had this card in it before Legacy of the Duelist, but like it's whatever. Like, you can easily do this. Then you have 4 kinds of random continuous spell cards. Okay, let's finish up. We have Opening of Spirit Gates, of course. That's one of the starters as well. Skill Drain, because as I just explained during the last duel, it actually works really well in our deck. We only have one monster that's actually bothered by it, even like a Dark Beckoning Beast, and what I want to say, even Darkest Diablos can dodge its effect. Can dodge Skill Drain, because it actually tributes a monster. You can tribute it itself, and then it will resolve in the graveyard as well. So even this Darkest Diablos monster can dodge Skill Drain. So Skill Drain is a really good addition to this deck, I feel. And one of the Awakening of the Sacred Beast, because it's kind of a skill drain. It also has some additional effects. The tree effect will never come up, but it also has some gain life point effects. But you also have this basically for the grind game or whatever you really need a skill drain. You can also use this like once per turn. If you control a level 10 monster, you can add 1 continuous trap from your graveyard to your hand. It's really slow, but yeah, it's sometimes it's useful. Like if you want to switch anything out, or you want to put in another card, I would recommend probably switching this card out and then putting the card that you like in. But alright, that's the deck actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in another video. Peace out. Alright, I had to come back and show you guys this. Return to the menu. We don't have to save the duel. Oh man, wait. First turn up some music. Oh man. Let's go, let's go. Come on. Music. Sorry for the awkward silence. Something like this. That sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I actually just had another duel immediately after it. Duel. And it was actually a really fun one as well. I just had to show you guys. It's a really quick one. So as you can see, this is actually the one with the 6 turns. That was the one that we just replayed as well. Let's see. So I actually drew, I guess, a decent hand. It's not the best, like we were still missing some pieces. Some pieces could be better than other pieces as well. But yeah, you'll see. So the first hand we actually drew a lot of spell cards, but we have this and this, so that's perfect for starters. Like, we have 2 of the starter cards, and that's all we need in the Sacred Beast deck if we don't get negated. We add Dark Beckoning Beast. This basically is the standard combo of Sacred Beast. If you know it, you will be familiar with this. Alright, you get Hamon out, you get at least like one of the Sacred Beasts out, then you special summon another of the small monsters, you banish, you actually get a Sacred Beast to the hand, special summon it to the field, add Fallen Paradise to your hand. Hope it's not going too fast, but Fallen Paradise on the field. Okay, so this is like the standard combo up until here, up until like Cerulean Skyfire in the hand. Like normally you then have like 5 cards in your hand, which could be used for extending plays, but this is basically what you should end on, like these 4 cards. I can't rewind a little bit, unfortunately, but like yeah, at least like one continuous spell is also really common, by the way. But yeah, so these 4 cards, that's basically your end board. Again, if you're not getting negated and if you have like 2 starters in your first hand, then this is the board that you end on. The 2 Sacred Beasts could be anything, like they could even be Uriah if you like, but it could also be 2 Hamons, of course, if you prefer so, or 2 Raphaels, whatever. 2 Sacred Beasts in general. In addition to that, you have some cards in your hand which you can use, like it could be Skill Drain, could be Awakening of the Sacred Beast, could be just extender cards. It could be Darkest Diablos, right? And you would have had it on the field and actually send a card from his hand to the deck. Things like that. But in this case, I actually drew a really particular hand, and you can see it already. We actually used this Fallen Paradise, and we actually drew another card, like another continuous spell, Cerulean Skyfire namely. And we already had 2 different continuous spells in the hand. And on top of that, we actually even have Foolish Burial Goods in the hand, so you can obviously imagine what we can do with that, because this will be somewhat of a search. And we send a deck lockdown to the graveyard, we add it to the hand, and guess what? We activate deck lockdown, and now we're left with this board. It's really cool if you ask me. Like, I really found this funny. We had 5 different continuous spells, of which Opening of Spread Gates is not that, like, it's standard, it's not a lockdown anything. It's a good card, but it's a good card for us. Like, it's not bothering our opponent in many ways. But Cerulean Skyfire actually is a spell trap negate, like I said. Then we have Summoning Curse, which allows or forces our opponent to banish 1 card from their hand when they special summon. Also us, but now that we have it face up on the field, we will aim to not special summon that much anymore. Deck Lockdown, an amazing card, of course. You guys know what to do. If you don't, pause it here and read it. This is definitely the best lock that we have in our opponent right now, and even Dimensional Fissure. So I think this was just a really funny board that we ended on. We even have Allure of Darkness in the hand. We could have just activated it here, because if we did and we did not draw a dark monster, then we just banish our hand, or discard, right? We do not send your entire hand to the graveyard. Then that would happen, but yeah, doesn't really matter. But yeah, the thing is that we ended with 5 different continuous spells on the board, and yeah, let's see what our opponent actually does. We have to pay 500. Yes, that was fast. He did think a little bit about it when I was playing, but of course in the replay it happens immediately. And yeah, I don't think he could do a lot there. But awesome. Okay, that was the Sacred Beast deck. Hope you see the power of it. It rocks.